In this video, I've got one pick for every single game. 7-2 on Saturday, 5-1 last night, 49-17 overall. Let's start with Devin Vassell, the San Antonio Spurs. Heading over to oddshopper.com, I can see the Spurs are getting 10.5 points on the road. Quite a large spread for Cade Cunningham being questionable. Malik Beasley potentially starting tonight with Tim Hardaway Jr. also questionable. However, the fact that the Pistons are laying 9.5 makes me think Cade is playing. Heading over to mysparryedge.com, Devin Vassell, look at his three-point market. This is one thing I like to look at when I start looking at the upside of scoring for the points market, and we're going to look at that as well. So I click on his name and bang, opens his player card, and I can see he's been hot, red hot, in fact. This is his points and rebounds market, and the minutes have been strong, the shot attempts have been strong, and you can look at his points have been solid too, and the threes are actually the best market out of all the markets I like today. However, it's juiced like crazy. Stephon Castle is also questionable for tonight. They're already missing De'Aaron Fox. They're missing Wemby. But what I like most out of all of this information here is Vassell has played 29 plus minutes in 6 straight games. And in those 6 games, you're watching him go ham. 3+ threes in 5 of the 6. He has scored 22, 22, 17, 10. Bad one against the Knicks. 20 and 25. And then the rebound upside is also something I look for when we get those increased minutes, and you've seen 10, 8, 6. So I'm thinking tonight, my favorite play out of this game, and again, this is similar to the Scotty Barnes play yesterday where I went in, I gave you literally 30 seconds of analysis. I said, Scotty Barnes over 4.5 assists, take it or leave it. I'm not betting on this game, but that's my favorite prop. Scotty Barnes hit the over. He cashed it. This is very similar. I won't personally bet on this, but this is my one pick for the game. Devin Vassell over 23.5 points and rebounds. Sliding back to the odds page, I'll look at what that market is telling me for his odds. And it's actually 22.5. It's moved since I started my video. Even better. So Devin Vassell over 22.5 points and rebounds on DraftKings and on Onyx. Now with this epic stretch of 49-17, and listen, 5-1, 7-2 last 2 days. That's a nice 12-3 overall record. I've been posting the recaps. You can see it on the screen right now on my YouTube posts page. But just full disclosure, what I've been doing for these is I post official picks in Discord for members. Then I post my YouTube leans list for members. The video goes live for public. You can enjoy all the entertainment, my picks here. But my favorite ones are also reposted into Discord for members. About an hour or so before the slate locks, or even right around 7 o'clock usually, I will then post the list on the YouTube post page. I edit my daily post there, and that's where you'll see it. So watch the video, get the lines before they move. Later in the day, if you want to track how they're doing, you can check the YouTube post page. And of course, VIPs get everything earlier than public. That's the Donuts Picks link down below. Let's move on. Next game, we've got the Magic on the road against the Hornets. All right, so the first player prop I want to talk about for the Magic game is going to be Paolo Banchero. Now, my officials yesterday for Discord, we had taken Banchero over 33.5 points and rebounds. Unfortunately, that didn't make it on the YouTube video. The benefits of being a VIP. Cole Anthony is doubtful again today. Doubtful he plays. Has not even been attending shoot around. So there's likely a pretty good chance he misses tonight, even despite him not even already be called out for the night. So go back to the well. Paolo Banchero, without Cole Anthony on the court, has cashed the over for points and rebounds in 8 of 9, and he's averaged 39.1 points and rebounds per game. On the season, he's only averaging 32.71. That is quite indicative of the impact it makes when certain players are off the court sometimes. It's a usage increase, and you'll see that when you start looking into the usage and the field goal attempt volume and just the general flow of the offense when Cole Anthony's off the court for Paolo Banchero. All 3 categories, minutes, usage rate, and field goal attempts, all go up when Anthony's off the court. What I look for when I look at these combo stats is I want to see this. I want to see upside for 10, for 11, so that if I'm taking a combo, you know what? He could pop off for 10, 11, 12 rebounds and maybe not have the best scoring night, 26 points, and he can still cash, and vice versa. I want to know that he can go for 43, for 31, for 30, for 30. And he can rip off shots and be a walking bucket or get there through absolute ball hog style offense for Paolo Banchero, as we've seen all season. But if he does that and he shoots the ball 25 times, he can still score 30, 33, 35 points. And maybe his rebounding night isn't that special, but he scored a ton. So when you take a combo prop, don't be flirting with a player that's like barely clearing both categories. No. They need to show massive upside on both of them. Otherwise, go Banchero points alone, and that would be the play. I'm taking the PR. Moving on, we got the Mavericks at the Knicks, and we actually have a spot here we can take advantage of tonight. Anthony Davis says he's likely not playing tonight. Second leg of a back-to-back. Played 27 minutes yesterday in his return. And, well, that gives us a good chance to bet on certain players on the Mavs who we've seen smash with AD off the court. So let's go look at them. We'll talk about the Knicks real quick as well without Jalen Brunson potentially missing somebody else tonight if they rest them. We'll get to that in a hot second. What I need from you first is if you're enjoying this show, if you've watched any of these videos since I started them last Monday, one pick for every game, 49-17 props record is insanity. You're up almost 28 units betting if you tailed every single pick. VIPs flourishing as well, getting my full officials, and they're getting my favorites from the YouTube video reposted to Discord. I'm telling you now, if you're here from just the public, hit the like button at the very least, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on. Monday through Saturday, I will be here 12 months a year. NBA, MLB is coming. We're going to be doing both sports on this show. And then, of course, NFL is king, my friend. I'll be here for that as well. All right, next up, let's talk about the Mavericks getting 10.5 points on the road against the Knicks. Knicks are going to be missing Deuce McBride. Jalen Brunson is also out, of course, we've seen for the last 9 games. The Mavericks, no Kyrie Irving, no Derek Lively, no Daniel Gafford, no Anthony Davis. Looks like he's sitting out tonight, second leg of a back-to-back after playing 27 minutes last night. Very inefficient, by the way. And there's a few plays here that actually look like phenomenal on the Mavs side, and I only like to pick one play per side, but this might be one of those times I break my own rule. Let's go look at it. So first player we should probably look at is going to be Spencer Dinwiddie today. Listen, the Mavs are just missing guards. They just don't have ball handlers. And P.J. Washington's the other player. And, of course, we're going to look at Naji Marshall, who both Naji Marshall and P.J. Washington have been feasting with no Gafford, no Lively, no AD. AD out tonight. I think both bounce back in big ways. But Spencer Dinwiddie, his points and assists, phenomenal upside here. So the Knicks give up a ton of points to point guards. Second most in the NBA. It's because their pick and roll defense is horrific. And what I like, and I just talked about it, those combo markets, you got to have upside for both cats. So here you go. 12 assists, 7 assists, 12 assists. And then for the points, not the tremendous upside we're looking for, but for a 15.5 point line when you're clearing it by 5 here at 20 or 31 point upside against Detroit, there is a lot of upside here for Spencer Dinwiddie. And it's really the assist market that really gives it a nice boost. So give me the PA. If they happen to shut down the pick and roll at all tonight, maybe it's inefficient without a true huge big out there for 30 minutes or something. I don't know. But he goes out there and he just racks up 12 assists. Well, now he doesn't need a billion points. So he could go out there and score 12 points. Heck, he could score 10 points and get 12 assists and still cash the over. So Spencer Dinwiddie over 21.5 points and assists. My current favorite from the Mavs side. I don't know which one becomes official for VIPs, but they'll find out later today. Next up would be Naji Marshall going 27.5 PRA. This has been lock and load. In fact, he even cashed it last night with Anthony Davis soaking up 27 minutes of the offense. And I think Naji's minutes, usage, upside in multiple categories is really what makes me love this PRA. I mean, for the points, we've seen 29, 34, at 17.5, he's cleared it by 4 or 5 almost every single game, which is kind of nuts. And he doesn't do it through the downtown shots from 28-footer. I mean, it kind of works inside the arc there, which I love. So rebounds upside. Again, this is what I'm talking about. I want to see it. 11, 17, 9, 11, and this is on a 6.5 rebound line. For the assists, now here's where you can kind of take this if you want, throw it aside, just go points and rebounds. And I might essentially do that as well because the Knicks do have a few players that are really good at gobbling rebounds. So we'll take a look at the quick PR and matter of fact, actually, let's do it live. I was going to do this off to the side after the video for members, but let's go ahead and do it live. So what I want to see is if it's at 24.5, that's pretty good. If it's at 23.5, it's a steal, and I'll take that. So we actually have it at the over for Naji Marshall at 23.5 points and rebounds. Phenomenal. So here's my thoughts. If he's often only finishing with 2 or 3 assists, adding the PRA and having to go from 23.5 to 27.5, you're needing 4 assists to cash the over, 4 extra assists to catch the over for the PRA, or he blows up in the PR category and assists can remain low. At which point, why the heck are we even adding them? So let's change that on the fly. And again, this is why I like doing these videos. It's really helped me refine my process. There's no shame. There's no pride here. And, backtracking your positions here. 23.5 PR is a great freaking play for Naji Marshall. And PJ Washington, I like him. I like his points. He's been really darn good here without AD on the court. And I think that he probably pops off here, but I'm going to be real. It's just Naji PR probably be my second favorite, and the Spencer Dinwiddie would probably be my favorite for the Mavs side. I don't know where I end up for VIP. And again, I'll post that YouTube leans list later today. Next up, we got the Warriors at the Heat, and oh my goodness, get ready for it, man. Jimmy Butler back in Miami. If you don't think he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder, then you don't know who Jimmy Butler is. Oh boy, it's going to be interesting. So let's take a look at his props. Let's look at some other key players. Warriors, 4.5-point favorites on the road. This is going to be really interesting. I'm very excited about this game. So a few key pieces we need to talk about. First, before we get to Butler, let's talk about Brandon Podziemski. If he ends up starting again or getting a significant amount of minutes, if Curry ends up being out, he's a steal at his line. They're way too low, but they're kind of baked in there because it looks like Steph Curry might play. He's been upgraded to questionable, which we're going to get to in a hot second because I think we've got maybe a nice opportunity there for Steph Curry. So hang tight. Pods has been cashing out like crazy at the three-point market. We cashed this one, I believe, maybe Friday or Saturday. We had Pods. That game, whatever the 22nd was, I think that was Friday. I said, let's go over 1.5 for his threes because there's no Curry. And what did he do? He hit 2 threes in like the first 3 minutes. Fastest cash I can remember in recent memory. So if Curry is out, Pods, I'm going to slam overs on today because his line will get bumped up to 13.5. 1.5 threes likely gets juiced, so you would end up just parlaying it. I think it's a phenomenal spot. So let's talk about him first and foremost. Upside for days if Curry's out. If Curry's in, I think still potentially sneaky on the 1.5 threes, but we'll circle back based on news. VIPs will know. Tyler Hero on the other side, I'm interested in because, listen, he's a baller. He's going to show up in this one. My concern is, man, with Jimmy Butler just playing, ferocious defense, aggressive offense, I think we got an interesting spot there where he could just go ham, bam, out of bio. Now, I think this is a sneaky spot for him, probably his RA. If he plays like 38 minutes or so in this one, the RA is hitting the over. I don't care who's active on the other side. Just depends on how competitive this game is. But let's talk about the key pieces here. Jimmy Butler, without Steph Curry, has been playing great basketball. Look at his points and assists. And again, combo markets, you need them to be able to pop off in 2 different categories. And he can do that any given day. Now, with Steph Curry, the assists were starting to come there a little bit more as he was over the last several games there. With Steph Curry and with Draymond Green active, he had 7+ assists in 4 of those last 5 games. And what I really liked was the potentials at 16+ in 4 of the 5 games. So with Steph Curry, the assists have been really increasing. Now, the points were not. They were actually not that great. And then on the flip side, without Steph Curry, we had 2 games, the Bucks, the Hawks. He had 24 and 25 points in both of those games, 10 and 8 assists in both those games, combining for 36 potential. So you don't entirely know what's going to happen. And I think maybe if you take any prop tonight from me, it's going to be the effort prop. Yeah, you heard me. That's the rebounds category and the assist category. And then you put in the RA market overall and just run it. Because I think we're going to get Jimmy Butler all in try hard mode. And listen, if the Heat try to like shut him down, chip on their shoulder, bad blood, whatever it might be, you got to think the defense is going to be keyed in on Jimmy Butler. Well, the rebounds and assists can be where he actually pops off. So I like the 12.5 today, regardless of if Steph Curry's in. If Steph Curry is in, then I like it. If he's out, I freaking love it. And the 6.5 assists, even better. But that line will get bumped as soon as Curry is ruled out. Here's my favorite play of the entire game, though. Are you ready for it? It's none of those guys. It's not even Jimmy Butler props. It's Steph freaking Curry getting a 22.5-point line. Oh, my word. Listen, if he is healthy enough to play and come back and get into this game, Steph Curry at 22.5 is an absolute steal, in my opinion, averaging 24.15 points per game. Him and Jimmy Butler have looked great on the court. And I talked about, how good Butler's been assist-wise. Well, that's because Steph Curry knocks down all his freaking shots for him. Curry has scored 24+ points, my friend. And I could do it right here using the last 20 games filter. And he's averaged 28.2 points per game. Now, his last 2 games were the ones where he's been injured in and out of the lineup, kind of struggling, and then they finally sat him for a couple games. But literally take those 2 away, and my guy had hit the over in 14 of 18. Now, Jimmy Butler was there for 19 of them. You tell me if this line's too low. And here's the beautiful part. If Curry ends up playing, There ain't no way the Warriors are putting him out there if his ankle ain't good enough to handle the minute. They will not risk playoff dreams with Steph Curry on the pine because they're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs. But in the playoffs, they could actually do some damage with Curry and Butler and these guys healthy. So they will not risk Steph Curry. I think if he plays, he's 100% ready to rock 36 minutes if they need it. Otherwise, I think he sits. And if he sits, your bet is null. It's void. You get your money back. Who cares? If he plays, this line is way too low. Matter of fact, before the injury, his last 3 games, his line was at 26.5 or higher. This is a steal. My favorite play in this game. All right, 4 more games on the list. We got the Hawks getting 8.5 points against Houston on the road here. We're going to talk about that one right now. A couple plays in this game. Just do me a huge favor if you're new. Subscribe every day. 1 pick for every single game. 49-17 record. How much else you need to know? Keep going. All right, so for the Atlanta Hawks and Rockets game, I'm skipping ahead in my editing phase here, trying to speed up the video. Caris LeVert over 15.5 points and assists. Probably my favorite play in this game. There's quite a few that are very interesting here, but I got to pick one for the video. And LeVert, I think, just a little mispriced because of his upside. Now, again, here's 16 games with the Hawks. So I've got a 15-game filter button. So I've clicked it. 15 games, averaging 19.27 PA. Now, it's been a little bit up and down as of late, but partially that was because he missed a couple games with an injury, came back, minutes were claimed. And again, combo markets, I want to see upside for multiple categories. Here's the assists: 7, 5, 4, 4, 6, 7 as of late. Points market, was hot earlier when he first joined the Hawks. 18 to 26 range was very nice. And then, he's been a little bit up and down as of late, but the pendulum usually swings back. I think the line's too low. I'm going PA. Next up, Grizz on the road against the Jazz. Goodness gracious, don't make me bet on this game. Oh, I hate it. No Ja Morant. We got the tanking Utah Jazz. I loathe betting on these games. So here's your quick bet. I don't even want to analyze it because we got a couple spots that are interesting to close out the video. And it's probably just going to be Jaylen Wells over 1.5 assists. You can get a -130 on DK, Onyx, ESPN Bet. It's there on Better right now, so that's not bad. But let me just show you. Jaylen Wells very up and down this season, but what we get today is gorgeous. It's the matchup against the team that gives up literally an assist prop over to everyone under the sun because they're giving up the second most assists per game, 29 assists per game. That's what the Jazz are giving up. They're tanking. It makes no sense. This line's way too low for Jaylen Wells. Quick little stat muse session this morning. I ended up finding Jaylen Wells averages 1.3 assists with Ja Morant, Without Ja Morant, he averages 2.3 assists per game. He's cashed the over in 20 of 28 games. Minutes are kind of all over the map, that's for sure. You kind of got to be concerned about that. But again, I'm picking a prop. I am not betting on these types of games or these spots. There's your prop for the game. Let's move on to 2 more games. Thunder on the road against the Kings. Second leg of a back-to-back for the Sacramento Kings. Got to be concerned about maybe some players. Who knows? But Sabonis, he looked great. He looked great last night, but the rest of the team did not. Thunder on the other side, potentially getting back Jaylen Williams. Potentially Chet Holmgren's active again tonight. Russo looked healthy. SGA's healthy. Lou Dort was active last game. He's questionable again. So how do we bet on this when half the Thunder are out or in and we don't know what to do with the team? The hard part about the Thunder is when some of these players are out, it dramatically impacts the rest of the players on the team. So my bet for this game, my pick, is very much going to be based on my reading of the tea leaves. I'm totally guessing to some extent who's going to be active and trying to make a play from there. So buckle up. Let's try to do it together. And I'm going to be real with you. There's so many players, even Malik Monk missed last game. Sabonis second leg of a back-to-back. I don't know how to bet on this one right now. I think we need to wait for pre-game warm-ups. We also need to pay attention to the morning shoot-around. Who's active? Who's there? Does Malik Monk participate? Does Jalen Williams participate? If Jalen Williams does not participate in morning shoot-around, I don't know if he's going to try to go through pregame warm-ups. So let's pay attention to the news reports before we do anything official. If I had to choose, again, this is one of those, I got to pick one for the game. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 6.5 assists. I love the fact that some of these books are absolutely juicing this like crazy. I mean, Hard Rock and Penny already moved it to 7.5. Bovada 7.5. They're saying you're not getting it at 6.5. Bet online -130. You're getting a -165 MGM. Meanwhile, DraftKings -125. Onyx -125. Fantastic upside. And then PrizePicks. That is the best play for him. And it's on PrizePicks today. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I have to think, conceptually, here's my thought. If Chet, if Dort, if Jalen are all back tonight, you're going to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, trying to rally the troops around him again. Get them involved, get them reassimilated into the offense, get things flowing nicely again, instead of Shai just doing some ISO ball out there the entire time. Meanwhile, over the last 11 games, he's had 7+ assists and in 8 of those 11. Go to his player card for you. There you go. It's been nice. And you're getting upside. Maybe even a little mini ladder. 7, 8, 9. Must have been hungry. Sorry for the dad joke. Last 15 games, even further out. We're talking over an 11 and 15, 7.13 assists per game. There's a lot to like here, and I love the odds for it. Now, check this out. I wanted to show you. Here is the PrizePicks Optimizer. Clicking NBA. And I just told you how glorious that play looked. Check it out. You don't need anybody to show you, to research this. The PrizePicks Optimizer will show you. It's that simple. People ask me, they're like, how to use the optimizer? You literally just open them up. It's literally the #1 play on the board right now. 3.49% positive expected value. Grab as many of these plays as you can all day long, and you're going to be in a good spot to win some of your flex 5s, power 2s, however you choose to use them. I absolutely love this play. So if you want to use the PrizePicks Optimizer for these 4 sports, the Underdog Optimizer for these 4 sports, you're going to be in a great spot to win some cash. I'm telling you, at least mathematically speaking, you'll be in a good spot. We recently added these books down here so that you have some type of like barometer if you want to check, cross-reference the odds. Meanwhile, you can ignore it all. Just pay attention to the order they're given to you. SGA as the #1 play on the board right now on PrizePicks based on math. All right, last but certainly not least, let's talk about the Cavs laying 6.5 points on the road against the Blazers. There's been some plays in this, well, I guess both teams that we've been hammering basically all season. My concern here is, who's active, who's not. Donovan Mitchell, I believe, has already been ruled out. I am going off the top of my head, but I'm fairly certain that is correct. Yes, it is. Just checked on the side off the recording, so you won't see me checking on the editing part. But anyway, Cavs, 6.5 points laying on the road. I think we got some spots here, so let me go ahead and open up the player odds again while I'm doing it live. First and foremost, do they put Toumani Camara's assist back at 1.5? If they did, he's a great parlay piece every single day. Nope, they bumped him to 2.5. Continues to rack up assists simply due to the amount of passes that go through him, and he's on the court forever. Literally just on the court forever. I mean, you can look at last 20 games. The 2+ assist line, if you want to alt it, slide that little slider there. I mean, the 2+, run out a little parlay in that game, I think is a fine option anytime you want to touch that prop market specifically. Let's go look at Evan Mobley, somebody we've bet on a ton this year as well. I want to look at his PR today, see what the line is at. Looking at it for the first time, 31.5. Not bad. We'll take a look at that. And then on the other side, I want to look at Deni Avdija, because something that I've been interested in every single time that he's active, and then we have no Jeremy Grant, no Ayton, and no Robert Williams, and they're just missing Jabari Walker Jr. out. Like, these guys are missing, and he's getting upside for days. So rebounds, assists market have always had tremendous upside for Mobley. We've got no Donovan Mitchell. I like the RA category a little bit today for him. And I also really like the RA category for Deni Avdija. Man, I always mess that freaking name up. My bad. But anyway, minutes have been sky high. 39, 38, 39. Because they're missing Jeremy Grant. They're missing Walker. They're missing so many players. And they just are running out of bigs and, to run at the 4. They've even had Deni at the 5 for some small ball lineups. Now, they won't be able to do that today against Cleveland. So that's a moot point. I'm concerned about Klingen, getting in foul trouble against this team. That would not be good for his props, but that would be good for Deni. And that's another reason why I kind of like him today. So let's just talk about it. These 2 plays, probably my favorite 2 of this game would be Evan Mobley over 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We have 6 games without Donovan Mitchell this season: 34, 38, 46, 31, 36, and 36. Both those games on March 11th and March 14th. Those are the PRA totals for Evan Mobley. That's over in 5 of 6. Flirted with it against Portland, this exact team. 31 PRA in that game. And if you're concerned about Deni Avdija, don't be. He had 52 PRA, 22 RA against the Cleveland Cavaliers on March 2nd. Jeremy Grant is doubtful once again. And the one weakness against Cleveland all season has been the power forwards. Cleveland not playing great as of late as well. They give up the 2nd most PRA per game against power forwards, 4th most rebounds and assists per game. Deni's playing almost 40 minutes per game. There's just a lot to like here for Deni. Problem is, he's just so erratic. He's so erratic. It's crazy. So for me, 32.5 PRA for Mobley. And if you're going to go anything with Deni tonight, I think I'd just go with the RA and, let it ride, see if it can cash out. But I don't feel strongly about either just yet. I will post the official for the Discord first, of course, as I do for all these YouTube leans. I'll post it also in the YouTube post section later tonight. If you make me choose right here, right now, it's Evan Mobley over 32.5 PRA. All right, this recording took me almost 90 minutes today. There's just a lot of news to suss through. I had to think about some of these situations. It was tough. However, during the recording, I was able to post 4 VIP picks for members. Pretty cool. I enjoy doing this. Really helped my process. If you want those picks, they'll be down below. YouTube list, like my favorite from each game, will also get posted in Discord first, and then they'll go here later on the YouTube post section about an hour before the lock, or maybe even right around lock, depending on how the engagement is for the video. Speaking of, I'm here Monday through Saturday. Hit that like button if you enjoyed today's show, and if you're going to be back tomorrow, Wednesday, March 26th. Love you, appreciate you. Let's get paid. If you need help, VIP links down below. Very affordable. I try to keep them cheap for you. Love this betting community. I want to make sure you feel supported too.